So here's something I want you to think about for a second. Are you having a problem finding buyers and sellers so you can grow your real estate business? Well, if you're having a problem finding them, they are having a problem finding you, because you have not demonstrated your authority, your clear voice on who you are, who you serve, and how you're different from the 500 or 1,000 other agents in your market. And that is substantial. Finding your voice and determining your value, showing your value by providing valuable content to your viewers is important. That's how I grew business. That is how I grew my business. Now, in the beginning, I wasn't really on any kind of track. I was probably like you, chasing everything down. But when I learned how to hone in on who I was and who I served, my business changed dramatically. I started real estate in 2020, and in 7 years, I've grown it from nothing to earning over $500,000 a year. I've closed 260 plus transactions in that time, and it's because I demonstrated my knowledge, my authority, and my clarity online. And in this episode today, I'm going to get on the right track with your authority statement. Now, we're going to have a conversation about what this means and how this statement will define who you are and help you build your content around that. But before we get started, I want you to go to the show notes. I want you to download a couple of pieces I have for you. My workshop in a box. Going to start out with your niche builder. Now, I've come up with 20 different niche or lanes that you can follow that will define who you are going to serve. It could be first-time home buyers, downsizers. Those are moving up out of rentals. Maybe you want to specialize in just new construction. Over 55 communities. You want to work with investors. That deck will help you define that. For each niche, I have a focus. So for example, investors, they want numbers, they want sound risk. I give you a statement that will help you build your authority and just a little bit of a description of who that niche might be good for. So you want to go through that and select one, maybe two. But when you select it, the whole point here is we want you to build this content around a 90-day time frame so you can develop your authority. Then I have your next is your authority reinvention statement. And once you go through this and follow the exercises, you will have picked who you want to work with. Then you're going to learn some of the terms maybe to speak their language and how you are different. And then we'll develop language, or you're going to develop new authority language. No more I help. We're going to use terms like I guide, I'm the authority, I am the go-to agent. And once you get this in your head and you develop that authority statement, again, all of your content will follow and it will be very easy. And also I have a 12-month posting calendar, so you can post content 3 times a day. Yes, you have to post your content 3 times a day to be effective, get found, get referrals, and get starting on the right track. Welcome to this episode of Stop Chasing, Start Attracting. This is a show where realtors come to learn how to develop their brand, become an authority, and reinvent your life in real estate. My name is Robyn Cavallaro. I am an active realtor in the Villages, Florida, and I'm handing you my playbook. These are the things that I did to become successful. It's not hard, but you must work hard at it. These things don't just fall into your lap. You have to work hard at it. I'm going to give you the playbook here, so you want to make sure you follow along, download the workshop in a box, and make sure, if you wouldn't mind, giving this podcast a review and follow me for the next episode. The content you will definitely find helpful in growing your real estate business. So what I find most agents are doing wrong is, and I did this myself, you chased everything and you went everywhere. So for example, when I first started, I had no sphere of influence, no brand, no money, no anything. To become known or try to find business, I started to advertise on Zillow in an area that was about a half an hour from here. It's still in Central Florida in Webster area. Because there was so much competition in my community, I didn't know how to stand out in the crowd. So I just decided to strike out on my own. And I sold a property about an hour from here. I sold another one a half an hour from here, like manufactured homes, a couple of vacant lots. And then I had someone call me. I sold a very large home in Lakeland, Florida, which is an hour and a half from my sphere for where I live. And I did this for 2 years. I was all over and learned about the communities. I traveled to other over 55 communities with my buyers who were interested in learning about them, and I learned about them. And that helped me define who I was and the ability to provide helpful information to my buyers. But then after 2 years, I said to myself, you're running all over the place and you now are starting to get traction in your own backyard. How do you hone in on that? Well, I was recording videos and I did start to sell homes in the Villages, Florida. But to get traction, I had to find out where the pain was. And again, you've heard me say in the beginning, I wanted listings, sure. But I had to chase the buyers because the buyers have the money. The buyers are the ones who are ready to get you a paycheck. I know I had a friend of mine say, I need listings. And I told her, you need buyers. Buyers have the money. So I looked at that and said, all right, what do the buyers need to know in my market? They need to know about taxes and the tax rate. They needed to know about the different style homes. They needed to know about the lifestyle. They needed to know about insurance, roof, renovations, all of these things. And it works in your community as well. And I created content all around that. And again, go through the niche builder and the training deck. I'm not going to do a training video here. I'm having a conversation with you on how to use it and how you can use it to your advantage. So again, mine was over 55 and our community is unique. So I found all of those pain points and passed that content on, whether it is in video form or post form. And now with AI, it is very simple to ask, hey, I need 30 posts about taxes, insurance, blah, 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 the market conditions in my market. Give me a list of content, and you can go and easily create images right within the AI tools that you're using. If you're not, I do have an episode coming up, all of the AI platforms that I use and how I use them, the pros and cons and the struggles that I have, because it's not easy. It takes a lot of time. Sometimes it's like talking to your children. Can you please do that? You didn't listen to me. So stay tuned for that. Make sure, again, that you download this workshop in a box and you follow along in this podcast. But I think you find once you decide who your market is, who you're targeting, where you're serving them, and how you're different. And so how are you different? Let's talk about that a little bit. It's not just I help you find a good house. I'm going to answer the phone. I'm going to be attentive. It's the meat and potatoes. So let's just take if you wanted to work with investors. So what is the investor pain? They need homes they can turn quickly, they can make money on. And what does that entail? So, you might start to look for properties for them that, let's just say, for example, your investor is looking for properties to flip and rent. Well, you're going to want to make sure that in the areas that they're looking, you can say to them, hey, this is a great home, but you know what? Rental rates are going down here and they're having a problem keeping good tenants. Maybe you should look in another area. Provide the expertise. And again, it does take a lot of work. You do have to do research. That's why getting all over the place, choosing several different niches, it becomes a problem. Pick one and follow it for 90 days. Go to ChatGPT or Claude and say, all right, I want to focus on finding first-time home buyers properties to purchase. What are the things that I can help them with? It might be creating checklists. what they need to get financing. Create content about finding financing, about finding down payment assistance, what their taxes will be, where the good school districts are, where the playgrounds are. So it's very simple to find all of this information to prove your expertise. I'm not going to carry on here. We're going to bring this to a close. So the three things I want you to do is download the workshop in a box, get your authority statement together, find out who you serve, where you serve them, and how you're different. And then I want you to create content around that topic for 90 days. Post 3 times a day, morning, noon, and night. Make sure that you have a YouTube page, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Pinterest, LinkedIn. All of these platforms are free for you to use. Use them to your best of your ability to attract buyers and sellers so you no longer have to chase them. Once you come up with your authority statement, put it in the comments. Let me know if you're having any challenges. I'm here to help. My name's Robyn Cavallaro. Thank you for listening to this episode of Stop Chasing, Start Attracting, where you are going to build your authority and become clear with your reinvention statement. Thanks for watching, and make sure you check out the next episode coming out shortly. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time.